Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're uncovering a truth that's honestly a little bit terrifying. We're looking at exactly how much of your personal life is exposed online right now. And the wild part? This happens without anyone ever hacking your computer or your accounts. We all leave this invisible digital trail as we go about our daily lives, and today we're going to see exactly how OSINT gathers that public data. So, what does the internet already know about you? Just take a second and imagine a total stranger legally discovering your full name, exactly where you work, who your colleagues are, and, what you do for fun on the weekends. And they pull this off just by connecting dots that are already floating around out there online. Sounds pretty alarming, right? But for a lot of us, this level of detailed intel is already out there. It's voluntarily shared and literally just waiting to be pieced together. Now, the practice of gathering all this information is known as open source intelligence, or OSINT. It's defined as the process of collecting and analyzing information that is publicly available from legal sources. The absolute critical thing to understand here is that OSINT doesn't involve breaking into systems. No lockpicking required. It relies entirely on data that people and organizations have actively chosen or maybe inadvertently allowed to be totally publicly accessible. Section 1. Gathering public open source data. What's really fascinating here is the sheer variety of these sources. OSINT data is gathered from a massive array of completely everyday, totally legal places. We're talking about everything from public websites, news articles, and your social media profiles, right? Down to government records, academic publications, and get this, even maps and satellite imagery. It's not just one rogue platform exposing you. It's a giant, complex web of information pulled from public documents literally everywhere. And it's not just individuals. Both personal and corporate data sources contribute to this massive pool. For personal data, we're looking at professional networking profiles, public social media posts, and publicly available contact info. But corporations leave a huge trail too, right? Through company staff directories, press releases, blog posts, and business registration records. So whether you're just sharing your contact info, or a business is proudly publishing their new staff directory, both are leaving a highly noticeable, trackable digital footprint. And here is the crucial takeaway. Individually, these pieces may seem harmless. Combined, however, they can reveal a surprisingly detailed picture. A single public post, or say a quick speaker bio at a conference, might seem totally fine on its own. But when you gather and combine these tiny puzzle pieces, it creates a high-res image of your life. It's the aggregation of this public data that makes open source intelligence so incredibly powerful. Investigators are rarely looking for one massive secret file. They're basically building a detailed mosaic out of 1,000 tiny public tiles. Section 2. OSINT in the real world. So, who actually relies on OSINT? It honestly spans across so many industries. Cybersecurity professionals use it all the time. Law enforcement agencies lean on it to support active investigations. Journalists use it to verify facts and dig into complex stories. You also have businesses monitoring their reputational risks, and recruiters or hiring managers routinely checking a candidate's public profiles before making a hire. But for cybersecurity teams specifically, gathering this public data lets them do something super important. It lets them see the organization from the outside in. They want to know exactly what a threat actor can see out there on the open web before that threat actor ever decides to launch an actual attack. So what is the cybersecurity OSINT focus? Security teams are actively looking for exposed employee contact details, exposed documentation, public cloud resources, and company announcements. But one of my favorite methods is looking at the technology mentioned in job advertisements. Think about it. If a company is hiring an expert in a very specific, maybe outdated server software, an attacker now knows exactly what vulnerable systems they might be running. By discovering these things early, security teams can patch those holes and reduce exposure way before it becomes a real threat. Section 3. Fact versus fiction, not hacking. We really need to address the biggest misconception out there, which is hacking versus OSINT. Many people hear intelligence gathering and automatically think hacking, but that's just not true. Hacking involves bypassing security controls, breaking into systems, and getting unauthorized access. OSINT, on the other hand, is strictly about researching public data, legal information gathering, and defensive analysis. OSINT is absolutely not illegally breaking into private systems. It's simply reading and analyzing what people and organizations have already freely put out into the world. And because all this data is public, the core purpose of OSINT is defensive. And ethical use is absolutely essential. That means no harassment, impersonation, or targeting. Collecting public information does not give anyone a free pass to weaponize it against someone. Professionals conducting OSINT operate under really strict guidelines to respect privacy, follow applicable laws, and stick to their organizational policies. Just because the data's out there doesn't mean it's a free-for-all. Which brings us to Section 4, shrinking your digital footprint. Now that you know how it works, let's talk about how you can actually shrink your footprint. First, review privacy settings on social media. Don't just assume they're secure. Go in and actually check. Second, remove outdated public profiles you no longer use. Those old accounts are absolute gold mines for data gatherers. Third, periodically search for your own name to see what's actually visible out there to an OSINT researcher. And fourth, always enable multi-factor authentication, or MFA, to lock down your most important accounts. Also, you want to keep your professional and personal accounts separate whenever you can. And honestly, just be cautious about what you publish today. Always think twice before posting, because a totally casual, offhand update right now could remain accessible for years and years. Once it hits a public website, it basically becomes a permanent piece of your open source intelligence profile. Understanding your digital footprint is truly one of the very first steps toward better cybersecurity, both for you and your organization. Which leaves us with one pretty critical question to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. What piece of public data will you delete today? Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay curious, stay informed, and definitely take control of your data.